So what I'm going to do today is I've got this gun bluing kit, and it's called Blue Wonder. Easy to use, no special skills required. Factory blue in a bottle. There's a lot of when you talk about bluing, apparently there's, and keep in mind I am so not an expert, but there's a lot of different bluing processes. Some of them requiring all sorts of heating and cooling and aging and stuff like that. This looks like a pretty simple process, and I've read that if you follow the instructions you can get some pretty decent outcomes. Now this gun barrel is what's called a Damascus barrel, and if you look at the grain in that barrel, you can see it looks like there's a circular line that runs round and round, sort of like grain in a tree. That's what makes it a Damascus barrel. You don't want to mess that up. You don't want to grind it off, because actually it's my understanding that this is actually a sort of a rust pattern in the metal. But I do want to, like in this case, just make this prettier again. So I'm not going to be sanding or grinding or doing anything like that. I'm going to be following this process, which basically states, number one, and it says if you wish to remove the existing blue, well I don't, but it says it does say you can use some Scotch-Brite. And one thing that I ran across the other day is there's a fellow on YouTube who advises cleaning your gun with a penny, a copper penny made before 1962. And he advises doing that to clean up the gun because it won't scratch the gun. That's an option that I could have. But this says to remove pits and scratches prior to refinishing, use Scotch-Brite abrasive pads or emery cloth. Polished compound or jeweler's rouge may be used prior to applying gun blue black. Soak the polished piece overnight in lacquer thinner to remove all residue, and then proceed to step 3. And step 3 says clean all areas to be reblued thoroughly using Blue Wonder gun cleaner with steel wool to remove any oil, lacquer, thinner, grease, or fingerprints. So I've got some in the kit, some Blue Wonder gun cleaner. So my first step should be to clean this gun as well as I can, and I guess soak the thing in lacquer thinner overnight. That can be done. So let's start with cleaning. So I'm in here messing around with this gun project. I'm trying to hold the gun, hold the light, and knock some of the rust off of it all at the same time. And it's occurring to me that this probably isn't the best way to try to go with this. I need to either rig up something to hold my light for me, or I need to order one of those little, they make these little lights that have a magnifying glass built into them, and you can shine it right on what you're working on. That's probably what I need, is something about like that. I'm liable to discontinue this project for today until I get a better setup, but I think I will just scrub around on the end of that barrel before I quit altogether. Just a little more. Can't do much harm, as long as I don't scratch it up or anything. And I'm kind of not using any of these products that I mentioned earlier. I am using some frog lube to kind of moisten the barrel a little bit before I start rubbing on it. And that's kind of what we're going with. Okay? Okay. I'm experimenting here. So the penny is taking rust off, and it isn't scratching or ruining the grain in that. I'm thinking this might work well with a different type of oil. The person I saw on YouTube doing this was using some 3-in-1 oil. This frog lube is very thin. The only thing is, whatever oil I put on there is going to have to be taken back off. But, here we go.